Hello, Scream Demons, and welcome to the Screams from the Basement podcast.
This is the scariest horror podcast on this side of the Black Lagoon. Screams from the Basement discusses the best double features the genre has to offer.
We also interview the industry's finest that make our screams become nightmares. I'm one of your creepy co-hosts. I'm Casey.
And I'm Sam the Damned. And let's get screamin'.
Let's get screaming as we are celebrating Pride Month. Happy Pride, everyone.
Hell yeah, happy Pride. And super uncomfortable Pride to all the bigots out there. I hope you have a terrible month.
They're not listening to this show anyway.
No, they're not. But in case you stumbled upon here, fuck off.
But you, the listener, we are glad you are here. We are happy to celebrate Pride Month this month and every month to all of our LGBTQIA Two-Spirit and plus. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone who's wants to be a part of this community. Let's be a part of this community of horror-loving weirdos. We accept you for who you are, no matter who you are. Just don't be a bigot piece of shit. Then we're not going to accept you.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But we bring that up because we're celebrating the first of kind of two Pride-themed double features this month.
Yeah.
Today we're kicking off the month of June with our Jane Schoenbrun double feature as we are talking We're All Going to the World's Fair and I Saw the TV Glow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is one that we've had on the list for a while. It makes sense to do it in Pride. But it also makes sense because Jane Schoenbrun has a new movie coming out. They have
a new movie coming out in July, August?
I think it's August 7th.
So this summer, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Trailer just dropped this past week, and it looks so good. I'm so excited. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to, if it's anything like these two movies that we're talking about today, we're in for a treat. That's for sure. We're doing this double feature. It's been on the list for a while. It's kind of the perfect time to do it. It's Pride Month. Jane Schoenbrun has a new movie coming out, and we just really want to dissect both of these movies because I feel like a lot of people are going to be going back and revisiting these before their new film comes out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then just keeping on our Pride train, just kind of hyping people up of what we got coming up for Pride Month. In 2 weeks, we are going to be doing, I think this is probably like a lesbian double feature. I haven't watched one of them yet, but there's at least elements of queerness in these movies.
Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure. Ginger Snaps in Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely fall into the queer camp of the horror genre.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They also have so many parallels that I am very excited to discuss. But yeah.
Yeah, excited to do that one in a couple weeks with Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. They're going to be guests on that podcast with us. So it's going to be exciting to dive into 2009 even more with them. But I think we'll touch on that same era in today's podcast, especially when we talk about this first movie, We're All Going to the World's Fair. Sam, before we jump into the actual double feature, I think we both have a pretty similar history with Jane Schoenbrun's work. We're All Going to the World's Fair is the first time watch for both of us for this episode.
Yep.
We both watched I Saw the TV Glow right around when it came out. I know I watched it after you did because you just consistently hyped it up for me. It was your number one movie of 2024, right?
Yeah, by quite a wide margin. Yeah. One of my favorite movies of the decade so far, honestly. So I'm excited, but I'm daunted to talk about I Saw the TV Glow because it's been 2 years and I don't even know if I can put into words exactly how I feel about it still.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about both of these. One, because the first time I watched I Saw the TV Glow, I didn't love it. I really liked it and loved what it was going for. But watching it again this time, I was blown away by the movie. Of oh no, this is a masterpiece. I just couldn't digest it all in one sitting. And that's how I'm feeling right now about We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Yeah.
I don't love this movie, but I also don't feel like I fully digested this movie, and I feel like this conversation is going to help do that for us, for me, for you, for the listeners, maybe as well. Yeah, I think both of these movies are ones you can't just watch and be like, okay, I watched a movie, cool, on to the next thing. It's no, you got to sit and digest and discuss and talk about the themes of the movie, because these are both heavy themes movies, heavy vibes movies. It's you can't just be like, yeah, I watched this cool movie like a Fast and the Furious movie. It's not those.
Yeah. Like there's no beat for beat plot that you can go through with these. It's very
Yeah.
much just they are they're almost like I hesitate to say like tone poems because they do have more narrative structure than that. But they're also like they're like they're like very very queer David Lynch movies. But
Yeah,
even that feels
100%. Yeah.
reductive and not totally what they are. You know what I mean? Like there's no there's no language to describe these for me. I don't know. Like they're
Yeah.
just Jane Schoenbrun is a singular voice, and I just think
Yeah,
that
they're
they
a
have like
singular artistic voice from a singular filmmaker. There's nobody else that's
yeah,
making movies right now, like or ever, like Jane Schoenbrun is.
no, not at all. Like I mean you can make comparisons to Lynch. I've seen the visual style of Camp Miasma compared to Wes Anderson, which I totally see that with the miniatures and the centered frames and stuff. But like that's still just elements that they're taking from other people and making it their own complete thing. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into this. Let's jump into we're all going to the World's Fair. Here's the thing. I have a notebook in front of me. It's the notebook I take notes in for every single movie that we do on the show. This has the least amount of notes I've ever taken for maybe any movie we've ever done on this. And that's not like reducing the movie of, oh, there's just nothing to talk about. It's I I don't have like plot points or beat by beat moments to talk about where I usually write those down. It's more of here's kind of the big thematic moments we need to talk about, and here's certain things that happen. There's just not a whole lot of notes on the page. Well, there's so many things to discuss in this movie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, well, let's jump into this. First, in our Jane Schoenbrun double feature, We're All Going to the World's Fair, released April 22nd, 2022, written and directed by Jane Schoenbrun, starring Anna Cobb as Casey, who is a 13-year-old reclusive teen, and Michael Rogers as JLB. We don't know a whole lot about this man besides he is a middle-aged man who watches Casey's videos online and sort of befriends her via Skype phone calls between the two. But Sam, really, what is We're All Going to the World's Fair?
Well, the very loose plot of this movie is that a 13-year-old girl plays an online horror role-playing game that puts her in communication with a mysterious stranger on the internet who encourages her to keep making videos, make more videos. I mean, that's it. That's the movie. That is like you are, I don't know. How do you start talking about a movie like this? For one,
Yeah,
like
it's a difficult movie to jump into because there's nothing really like it. I want to get our first impressions out of the way.
yeah,
Because this has been on my watch list for a very long time. I've seen that
same.
poster so many times where Casey is wearing the green like glowing makeup and is like holding the little button eye. I'm like, what is this movie? What is it about?
Yeah.
And I figured like I literally thought there was an actual fair involved with this. Like I knew nothing about this movie going in.
Yeah.
And so when we're kind of thrown back into, this movie came out in 2022, was shot, I believe, in 2019. It's interesting because this movie feels very 2007, 2008, 2006, like that era.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
I
just
mean,
very interesting that this came out in 2022 because it has that feel of what online culture was about, because it's online, like internet trends, like making YouTube videos for the first time, where it's just you literally set up your webcam and just kind of do whatever or talk about whatever is going on in your life. It's very
yeah,
loose structured. Online chat rooms, online creepypastas. Like, it just feels like of that era versus 2019. But of course, when you look up the era that Jane Schoenbrun would have been on online, would have been during that era, so it just makes sense that, you know, the character of Casey is kind of a vessel for Schoenbrun in many ways.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, like this is a movie that's very much about online culture, specifically from that 2000s era. You know, and I mean, this doesn't have like phones in it. When Casey is recording, is it? Did I just? Yeah, Casey. Oh, that's
Yeah,
gonna be weird.
not me, the character.
That's gonna fuck me up the whole episode. When Casey is recording everything outside of her bedroom, she is like recording with a camcorder.
Yeah,
Um, she doesn't have a smartphone, or at least if she does, we don't see one. Like Skype, once the smartphone came around, Skype was almost non-existent because every phone had a video call, right? So all of this is very much early 2000s, even late 2000s inspired. Um, and I do think that it genuinely taps into what it felt like to be online in those
yeah,
days.
yeah, 100%. Because I mean, we're not much younger than Jane Schoenbrun
No.
is. And I mean, we were online during this time. At least I was.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean,
the
I
only
was.
difference
It was just on
between
dial up.
yeah, same. The only difference between like the character Casey and me, Casey, was that I didn't have a physical laptop in my room. It was just the home family computer that I
Same.
would go on online on, like, I would always go to, like, I know everybody used what were some of the like online chats and
I
rooms and
used like
stuff.
the MSN Messenger.
MSN Messenger.
There
I
was
always went to
AIM.
Yahoo Answers, was my like kind of
Yeah.
like Reddit of the time.
Yep. Yahoo Answers was great. Remember
My
Ask
kind of like
Jeeves?
Ask Jeeves was another one I used. Another one where I would actually like interact and talk to people online was through the game Club Penguin,
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
and like you'd actually physically actually other talk to other players and stuff.
Yep. I remember
And
just like going into like there were sites that you could just talk anonymously with anybody,
yeah,
like kind of like chat roulette but just with texting, like, and that was scary.
scary. Yeah,
I can't
right.
believe as a teenager I was on those sites. Like the
Well, I know
amount
a lot of
that
people,
yeah.
especially during this time, did chat roulette as like teenagers, and I'm like, what? That's great. Like, that's
Hmm.
so dangerous and scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie, it captures that moment in time perfectly.
Hmm.
Of like, it's on the edge of the transition into social media, but we're not quite there yet.
Hmm.
Like MySpace, like the character of Casey probably has a MySpace and maybe a Facebook,
Maybe, but
maybe, but not like an Instagram, no Snapchat, no Twitter.
also like in its early days you couldn't get Facebook without um a college email, like a specific college
Yeah,
email. So this, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. It's not really, it's pretty, oh my God, I want to say anonymous, but that's not the right word. Ambiguous. There we go.
and
Um,
it's like It Follows of like, when did this take place?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I kind of just, I love that. I love that you can get like a general idea of the era that they're evoking, but not have it be like, oh, that's 2006. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Also, the two other things from that era that really stand out to me are the World's Fair Challenge.
Hmm.
Of like, that was such a big thing in early internet of like, I'm gonna do this online challenge, and of course we saw much later. We don't get a whole lot of it as much anymore. Like sort
No,
of on TikTok, I guess.
kind of,
It's more
but
like trends more than like challenges.
yeah,
But like the
yeah,
ice bucket challenge was a big one that
right.
everyone did. Um, I mean,
Well,
even way before that was like, if you don't pass this email on to 5
yeah,
people in your
you
contacts,
get
this
cursed or
face will
something.
come into your bedroom at 3 a.m. and stand at the foot of your bed.
Yeah,
So
and
like
there was
very much like
also
of that era, and that's what the World's Challenge or the World's Fair Challenge is
yeah,
that um, you say what you say. I want to go to the World's Fair, right? Is that
yeah. You have to say I want to go to the World's Fair
3
3 times.
times, much like
Then
Bloody
you
Mary?
Yep, and then you have to like prick your finger and smear it on your laptop screen or your webcam. And then you watch like a strobe light video, and then you're just supposed to yeah, like update
Transport, quote
people.
unquote, into the World's Fair
Yeah.
world.
And then you update people on the symptoms and stuff. And I kind of love some of these videos that you get. Let's talk for a minute. Okay, there are two things that I really want to bring up. The first being Anna Cobb. She has not been in nearly enough things since this movie. Um, from the second she is on screen, I was like, oh, this girl is a revelation. Just the scene of her opening up, like posting her first video, taking the World's Fair challenge, I was captivated. I was like, oh, this is a really good performance.
Yes.
Like this is a really good performance. And this character is gonna break my heart, and she does in a big way. And the fact that she's only been in like 2 or 3 other movies since this is insane to me. I also think that she was quite a bit older than 13. Like I think she's playing younger in this movie, which
Yeah.
only makes the performance that much that much better. It's like holy shit, you know. Um,
Yeah, all she's done besides this. Okay, you want to hear something crazy? I'm just looking at her IMDb.
yeah.
Okay, in We're All Going to the World's Fair, she plays a character named Casey.
Uh-huh.
Okay, her only other movie was Bones and All, the Luca Guadagnino movie.
Uh-huh.
Her character name in that movie is Kayla,
Well,
which is, listeners, that is my wife's name. So
yeah,
she has only ever played Casey and Kayla.
that is strange. That is very strange.
Weird. But yeah, she's only done those.
Yeah, and I just don't know. I mean, maybe she's happy doing like maybe she does theater or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
actors don't just have to do screen stuff, but I was really taken aback by her performance in this. I think it's
She's incredible.
just
Yeah.
so good. Um, and then the other thing is just like how this movie is made feels like you're doom scrolling. Like this literally feels like I spent an hour and a half on social media watching two people interact. And this movie does this weird thing where like, you know, I mean, you and I both have friends that are just like online friends, right? That we met through like the show or just randomly like it's weird. Sometimes like being online, you just have online friends. And
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's any like less real of a friendship than anything here, right? But like here's the thing. If you stopped posting on Facebook, Instagram, like if you just deleted all of your accounts and went AWOL online, I would still have ways to communicate with you. I would probably be able to still find closure in that. But I have had friends who have just disappeared from the internet. Like they're just not there anymore. And I have no clue what happened to them. Like I never got their number because it was always just through whatever platform we met on.
Yeah.
I don't have like and so like there are people that I remember dearly, at least our virtual interactions, but I have no idea if they're even alive right now. And that is kind of a sad, strange, terrifying concept that I think this movie, especially when you get into that ending, and God, the ending we could talk about probably for like 40 minutes.
We are going to spoil that ending because we have to discuss what it is. Yeah.
But like I do think that one of the reasons that ending works for me the way it does is because it kind of captures that, like, well, Jesus Christ, do you even know anyone online? You know, like, do you like, you know, and that's, I've never seen a movie that has captured that very exact specific feeling and tone the way that this movie does. And it's haunting in what it's kind of implying of all of this stuff.
Well, yeah, think of early YouTube before, because like YouTube for me was on YouTube way before I was ever on like social media.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you'd watch people, and like one day they might just stop posting.
Yeah.
Altogether, and you're like, okay, they're gone. Like, who knows what happened to them? Did they die? Did they just stop doing YouTube? Like, what happened to them? You just don't. You just don't know. And this movie, 100% just captures that.
Yeah.
That strange. I don't even know what to call it. Like relationship that you have between as a viewer and a creator. Like just that weird dynamic that's there.
That kind of parasocial thing where it's like you don't really know them, but you know them. Like, I mean, I ugly cried today because of a dog I've never met in person. You know what I mean? Like, there's like
R.I.P. Arwen, by the way. R.I.P. Arwen.
Rest in peace, Arwen. And sending condolences to Adam and Joe. They lost their third co-host today. But like that's something that genuinely did hit, though, you know, like you hear about that and it's like, well, I've never met this dog in real life, but that's a terrible thing to see. That's a terrible thing to go through. And like, in a lot of ways, I think the internet has closed us off and like kind of isolated all of us. And that's definitely something this movie gets at. But in other ways, like it does, like,
it's opened us up.
Yeah, like there's a lot of empathy and there's a lot of shared experience on the internet too, where it's like sometimes you watch something or you read something and it's like, oh my God, someone feels that exact same way I do. That's crazy. I thought I was alone in that. And the way this movie does both and doesn't necessarily, like, JLB as a character is very off-putting. Like, I don't think he's a good person. I don't think his intentions are pure because he's a 40-year-old man who is communicating with a 13-year-old girl. Like, that alone has a power imbalance that you just cannot ignore, right?
Let's talk about JLB as a character or as what we know of this guy. Yeah.
Because we don't see his face for the first, like, his introduction is totally via Skype without any
as a very strange avatar on his Skype.
Yeah, like a hand sketched, almost Grim Reaper grinning. Yeah. In a cloak.
And here's the thing: you never ever get the full read on who this guy is. We don't ever get his real name. It's just those initials.
Yep, JLB.
They might not even be his initials. They might just be some online pseudonym.
He has a massive house. You know, he's super wealthy, or is at least living with a wealthy person. Off. There is a person in the house. Did you catch? There's a very brief glimpse of another person in the house with him at one point. In the background, it's almost like they're carrying a laundry basket or something in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Just across the hall. And I kept waiting for that to come back, and it just never did. And I think that's the brilliance of, like, this movie only cares about their online personas. Yeah. What they are doing online.
And it's the same for Casey. We don't ever see anyone else in her life. You hear her dad's voice, once?
Once, yeah. And you never see him.
Never see him. We don't know if there's a mom in the picture. We don't know if there's siblings. We don't know if she has friends. We don't know if she goes to school. We don't know any of this stuff. We don't know if she has a job. Anything outside of what that online persona she's putting out there is.
Yeah, we only know the like face that she is putting out there. And that's kind of cool. And I think
Same with JLB. JLB, we get to see a little bit more of him. I think, than even of Casey outside of his online persona, because we do get to see what he's doing when he's not on video chats with her.
But what's crazy is he's constantly watching videos of
All
the
he's
World's
doing.
Fair Challenge. That's it. And like, it's not just Casey. Like, there's a part where we get to see like his screen after he closes out of something. Like, he's typing a message out to Casey, and then he closes out of it. And you see like all of these little folders and like sticky notes on his desktop that seem to be like drafts of notes and notes that he's taking on other people. So it feels like Casey is not the only one he's taking an interest in. And that's kind of brilliant because it makes you it disarms you a little bit to this guy, where it's like, oh, well, maybe he's not a creep. You forget for a minute, like, no, he's still a creep because he's a 40-year-old man.
Yes, yeah.
Interacting with a 13-year-old girl. But, like, the way he's interacting with everyone else is also very similar. And so it's like, but you also don't know, are those people of age? Who are all of these other people that he's keeping tabs on?
And does he have ill intentions at all?
Yeah. Like,
we just
never know.
We just don't know. Yeah, because he's watching other videos. There's a really great, like, he's watching all these other people doing the World's Fair stuff. My favorite one is with the guy who kind of has the, like, growths and stuff on his arm.
Yes, the mold and then the tickets.
And then he pulls the, like, tickets out, like, from the World's Fair. And it's such a cool little effect. But again, it makes us, as an audience member, wonder, just like the character of JLB, of, oh, is the World's Fair Challenge real? Do people change while doing this challenge? Is something paranormal going on? They talk about that a lot with Casey, because she believes she's possessed now because she's done the World's Fair Challenge.
Yeah,
and it just makes you wonder. Okay, maybe there is some stuff going on, or is it an online thing of this one random guy online does the World's Fair Challenge and pulls out a ticket, but it's just some special effect that he does for the YouTube video. Same with Casey. Is she doing this stuff just to amuse herself, to amuse the couple people that are watching her videos? We don't ever know.
Yeah, like how much of it is actually real. And when you get to that like emotional moment where she cuts JLB off, she even says, I did all this for fun. Like, these are videos. They're not real. I'm doing this because it's a game, you know.
But right before that, he tells her that.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
He's like, you're going too far down. You got to be careful. Remember, it's just a game, but you're saying a lot of things. She's very, very suicidal, at least in terms of what she's been talking about in some of her videos.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been definitely talking about, like, suicidal ideation and that kind of stuff. You know, like...
But again, is she just leaning into, I'm changing, I'm evolving, I'm part of this challenge, I'm having fun online, or is it a real thing?
So, like, I used to get sent to the office every once in a while for things I would write, because I used to write, like, dark stuff, right? And I did have teachers that were genuinely concerned about some of the things that I was writing. Like... As a kid, that pissed me off. As a kid, I was like, who the fuck are you to question, like, what I'm writing? Go fuck yourself. As an adult, like, thinking back on the types of things I was writing, it's like, yeah, I was processing some heavy emotions, and I think my teachers recognized that and were like, hey, we just want to make sure this kid is okay, right? And so, like, I do believe that Casey's like, it's just a video. It's just something that I made. But I think that all of that comes rooted from some kind of truth, right? Like, most people are not going to make videos about suicidal ideation if they haven't themselves had those...
Thought about it at some point for some reason.
Like, it's not something that people typically are very flippant about, you know, and so unless it's actually a thing that they have dealt with in their lives, because sometimes that can just be a coping mechanism, right? And so I think that this movie does a great job of keeping it ambiguous, but like my personal read of it is that Casey is genuinely struggling in this movie, and she is doing these videos as a way of coping with like the way life has kind of just for whatever reason, because we don't know, like we don't know anything about her life.
We don't know anything about her really. And we spend 90 minutes of this movie with her.
Right. Yeah.
We know nothing. We know less about her than we did before. Really.
Yeah.
Cause there's, you know, things of foreshadowing in this. Like
she finds her dad's gun.
Shows
That's
it off on
terrifying.
camera.
Yeah.
Films her school, quote unquote, and it's a graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
obviously her dad
creepy.
Doesn't have the best relationship with her dad.
Yep.
Also, she's making videos at like 3 a.m., so it's understandable why her dad might be mad.
Yeah.
So it could just be she's going through a phase of like, I'm just going to make videos, and her life is actually fine, and her parents love her, and
yeah. Oh, very well.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
It's, yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorite scenes in this is that there's a video where she's filming like kind of a New Year's Eve ball drop in her town.
Yeah.
And she's kind of in the middle of a square. And it's kind of like a makeshift like New York City. Where they kind of have like a tiny ball in their town square. And there's probably a couple hundred people out on the square and stuff. But she's just walking through them. You don't see any other faces. And she makes the notion during it. She says, "Why won't you help me? Yeah. Like there's all these faces in here, and I could yell, and I could stab you, and I could do all these things, and none of these people will hear me or help me."
Yep.
So again, it makes you wonder, like, what is she just trying to be an edgelord teen, or is she actually going through something? Is she going through a mental health crisis, and we're watching it as an audience member? Are we as culpable as JLB is of watching a 13-year-old girl going through all these struggles?
Well, and when he's pleading with her to keep making videos so he knows she's safe, is that his genuine cover for something more sinister? Because like that's, you know, like in a more edgy, like less ambiguous and frankly less effective movie, you would see him jerking off to these videos. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's, and I'm very glad we don't go there, because I don't think we need to ever see that, you know, but like,
also, who knows if that's what the character's doing? We just don't know.
Like, and that's the thing, the way that this character is just like, you inherently don't trust him because you know what he's doing isn't right, but you also, like, he might have motives that you align with from time to time, which is a very weird position to put your audience in. And that's kind of where, I mean, we'll talk about it even with I Saw the TV Glow, but one of my favorite things that Schoenbrun does is, like, they will align the audience with characters in ways that, like, that make you feel their discomfort. Like, you feel the discomfort of JLB at times, and you feel the discomfort of Casey at times. And like, and I Saw the TV Glow, like, it puts you in so many shoes. Well, I guess 2 pairs of shoes, technically. But like, the way that the audience is transported into character dynamics in Schoenbrun's films is just incredible. And so, going even further, like going into Camp Miasma, where it's like very meta. It feels like they've gone full meta, right? Like, I wouldn't consider World's Fair meta. I would very much consider TV Glow bordering on meta, and then, like, I'm expecting Camp Miasma to be, like, their Scream, essentially. Getting off topic, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I'm like, I haven't even watched the trailer yet. I'm just going into that movie knowing they're doing, like, a teenage slasher.
Okay.
That's literally all I know. I don't want... Here's the thing, and we don't do news on this show anymore. I just don't watch trailers.
That's fair.
Unless I'm in a theater, I'll watch them then. But I'm like, I'm not going to seek out a trailer anymore.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. But yeah, The point being, yeah, I think the way you align yourself with JLB at certain points in like worrying about Casey is concerning and kind of unsettling. And I think there are people that watch this movie and they're like, well, where was the horror? Where was the And it's not horror in a typical sense. Like I could see someone watching this and being like, that wasn't a horror movie. But I do think that it has horror in it, and I do consider this a horror movie because I really think that it is about the horrors of isolation and alienation and being so connected to the world and yet being confined in your little attic bedroom,
Yeah.
in your box,
or in your
giant
minimum
mansion.
Yeah. Your upper middle class home with your maybe partner,
maybe maid,
roommate.
Roommate.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like,
we don't know.
And
he's much like JLB is much like Casey. All he does is sit online.
Yeah.
That's all
life.
This guy does. We don't know if he has a job.
No.
We don't know if he has family or friends or anything. It's just, here's what he does online.
Mm-hmm.
We know he has money of some sort. That's about all we know.
Yeah.
Like same with Casey. Like we know very few things of like she's like 13 years old, has a dad, and like lives on like I would say like a farmhouse acreage.
Right.
And again, that's all you know.
Like
It's crazy. It's crazy how much you get out of these characters and how little you get out of them as well.
So like,
should we get to the third act?
Yeah. Do you consider Poe, like her tearing up Poe, the third act?
Yeah. I would say once we get to the poster, that's the start of the third act, and then kind of leads into JLB's monologue at the end.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, the whole time she has this stuffed animal Poe that's
she's
been with her.
childhood.
She said like since like 5 days after her birth or something like that. And I mean, we've all had that, some sort of physical attachment to probably our birth. Like I still have my blanket I went home in the hospital with somewhere. I don't know where, somewhere in the house, you know. Yeah. But we all had that blanket or teddy bear or toy or piece of clothing even. Mm-hmm. We all had that. And for her, it leads to the question that I'll ask here when we set up what happened. So she kind of gets into a funk where, again, she thinks she's depressed, or she thinks she's possessed. Yep. We know she's probably depressed, but she thinks she's possessed. Starts putting on this like glow in the dark makeup.
Yep.
We get the icon. We get the poster, and that's after she rips up her teddy bear and just starts throwing it on the ground, ripping its arms off, rips its head off, stomps on it, rips its eye out.
It out with her teeth, and yeah,
does the eye thing like we see in the poster.
Yep.
And here's the question that I want to ask about that.
Okay.
Because I think there's only 2 readings into this, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe 3. 3 readings into this. 1, she's actually possessed. I think it's the least likely.
Yeah, I agree.
2, she's just doing this because she's a rebellious teen, and it might get her some views. It might get people to believe that she's possessed. Or 3, she's going through an actual mental health struggle and raging out that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can ask you what you think it is. Doesn't matter because the movie doesn't ever explain it.
Or all of them, yeah. Like, to me, this is like, I mean, it's emblematic of her ripping up her childhood to gain popularity online, right? It's her literally killing the child and being like, no, this is who I am now on the internet, right? And to me, like, the most heartbreaking scene in this is when she leaves the room and then she comes back in, and it's almost like she comes out of her fugue state and she's just like, oh my God, what did I do to you, Poe? And I was just like, oh Jesus, like that's her realizing, like, I mean, I've been there where I'm just like so like clouded that I do something fucking stupid, And then like you come out of it and you're like, why the fuck did I do that? You know, like, oh shit.
Yeah. We've all done it.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, to watch that happen with like a 13-year-old girl in particular, though, is so heartbreaking to see. And it leads into that, like, that conversation, that last conversation that she has with JLB, where he voices his concern and says that he considered calling the cops on her, and she flips. I think this
calls
is
him a pervert.
Yeah, she calls him a pedophile.
Pedophile,
like, straight up, yeah. And this to me is the most truthful scene in the movie, because no teenager that is confronted with like, hey, you might need some help, responds with, oh yeah, you're right, I do. Teenagers are proud people. I know this as a proud teenager, and when I got told, "Oh, you might need some help," I was very no, I don't. Like, go fuck yourself. I didn't call anybody a pedophile because of it, but you know, like, been there, get it. Like, this exchange like really puts into perspective that like she is a child still, like. And that's what makes JLB so hard to trust, is like, you get what he's saying. You're like, oh, like, yeah, he's concerned. He probably, like, someone should probably do a wellness check on this girl. Someone should, but like, is he the person to be doing
this? Is she just making videos online, and are the cops going to show up and just find that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is this all just a show? I think it's really interesting that we don't get the end of Casey's story, or her version of things from Casey's perspective. Because the minute she logs off that call, the rest of the movie's from JLB's perspective. And it jumps to like a year later, and he has that monologue about how she checked herself into a facility. He didn't know where she was for like a year. And then a month ago, he ran into her in the city. And they sat down and they had a cup of coffee together. And she said she went into the game world and something pulled her out. And he thinks that it was his prayers that did it. And he says he tells her that. And she says, I think so too. And it like, the further the story goes, the less convincing it is. The further the story goes, the more you're like, this did not happen. Which leads me to one of two things.
Yeah, because he says, he's like, I left her at the train station, we went our separate ways, and we have never talked again.
Yeah. How do you read this ending?
Oh, he's lying.
Well,
100%.
Yes, 100%.
The story
lying.
is a lie.
But what do
I
you
think? I think that the movie knows that. Well, it's very intentional that it's telling a lie.
Oh, yeah. Well, because he gets done with the story and literally hits stop on the recording and then posts it online. Like, it's a performance. Like, yeah. But
I mean, again, there's kind of only two options, really.
Mm-hmm.
Of, okay, maybe there's more.
Oh, there's so many. I think
there's so many ways, I guess, you can read this. But there's that this did happen, which I don't think it did.
No.
There's just he's doing this to save face of why he was talking to a 13-year-old girl online.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fact that maybe he's just making it up for himself to feel better because he has not heard from this girl.
Yep.
And he's like, I need closure. Maybe it's his own closure that he needs because he knows he's never going to get it from her. And it's nothing like ill-intentional. It's just he needs that closure. Or even something nefarious happened. I think that's another option. If something nefarious happened, like, again, in a different movie, it ends up with like Casey in his basement. Yeah. Or in a darker movie, we find out she did kill herself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is another option as well. I think the most likely option, the one I would read into it, is she's a 13-year-old girl and got bored making these videos.
Yep, and she stopped making them and he had no idea why. And so he made that story up to cope. Yep. That's probably the most hopeful ending.
Yeah.
But
And I think
The
it's the
fact
one
that
that's probably happened the most in real life of just, I
oh
got
God,
bored
yeah,
making this. Yeah.
you would hope so, anyways, because the other ones are infinitely darker, right?
Yeah.
And I think the brilliance of the movie is it leaves it so open that in your mind the darker things cannot help but come up and creep in and be like, but what if this was the case? You know? And so this movie to me is deeply, even though, yes, nothing happens, really, there's something deeply unsettling about that. Because you're only seeing what our two characters want you to see. And at the end, you're only seeing what the one with the most power wants you to see. And that to me is I mean, this is actually, oh my God. What if Schoenbrun called what happened to the internet? What if Schoenbrun called what happened to the internet? Think about it. Think about it. I just thought of this. When the internet started, it was teenagers on YouTube making videos. It was the Ryan Higas and the Britannics of the world, and it felt like an actual safe haven for weirdos to just be weird. And there were blogs and forums, and you could just let your freak flag fly. And then the fucking Zuckerbergs and the Musks came in. Those rich white fucks in their gigantic mansions, controlling the narrative and ruining the internet for the very people that built it up.
I get what you're saying. I wouldn't throw Zuckerberg into that camp. He's kind of in his own weirdo
Oh, I would
camp
100%
he was like
throw Zuckerberg into that.
He was a
window.
weirdo college kid. Like, anyway, we're not.
Yeah, but he turned into that.
But he turned into that, into the corporate bullshit. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. My own reading just blew my mind. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. Yep, that was a good one. Anyways, that's Casey. Do you have anything else you want to say or ask about the World's Fair?
I think the last thing we have to talk about is even more present in world I saw the TV Glow. But we have to talk about it here because Jane Schoenbrun is a non-binary filmmaker, and they've mentioned many times that this was kind of the egg crack movie for them when they were coming up with the concept for them of like, oh, I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not in the body I thought I was, or my mind isn't in the body that I thought it was. And just...
Did you hear about how they came about the name Jane Schoenbrun?
No.
It was after filming of this wrapped, and they had not totally come out yet or anything. But they were at like a cast wrap party, and Anna Cobb was doing tarot readings. And she did a tarot reading on Jane Schoenbrun and said that the cards told them that they needed to embrace their feminine side. And so Schoenbrun then went and did psilocybin. They did mushrooms and realized something that was inside them all along, right? So they wanted to come up with a new name because they were about to, release their first movie ever. And so they had to come up with one on a deadline. And the day credits were due to be turned in, they came up with the name Jane Schoenbrun and sent it in. Is that not insane? Like, can you imagine having to pick your name on a deadline?
No, I can't. It's such a... Like, how cool is that for someone who is such a fantastic filmmaker to have in many ways their new identity, their new life, their full self come out because of a movie that they made.
Yeah, like their first movie that they made. How incredible. I love that.
And that their journey kind of starts literally with this film and can kind of, in a new life, in a new way, and just spread from there. That's, yeah, I had not heard that before.
Yeah. Insane. I just, yeah. I think about that and I'm just like.
But again, that's something that thematically you can look into this movie too, the same way with the character of Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Of they're going through changes in their life. Obviously, like 13, that's like puberty phase for most of us. But again, you're going through different things. You're trying to figure out who you are. Heck, the name Casey is very much a female or male name.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's very much a gender neutral kind of name to be putting in your movie to begin with. Like the idea, the way that Schoenbrun talks about gender dysphoria is also very different than like I feel a lot of trans and non-binary people talk about it, and they kind of. I mean, we'll get way more into it, and I saw the TV Glow, I suppose. But some of the lines that Casey has in this are very telling. They're like when Casey says, "My whole body's numb. I know it should be cold right now, but I don't feel anything." That fucked me up. I was like, "Oh no!" Like, yeah, oof. And then there's another line that hit me so fucking hard. This world is a dream I just haven't woken up from. Oof. Thanks, I hate it. Quit reflecting a mirror into my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This movie very much plants the seeds for what I think Schoenbrun explores in I Saw the TV Glow, just on a grander scale than this movie, you know? And I love that. I think this is a great double feature, although I know in our texts you said that you had double features for both of these that you would have appeared.
Yeah. So I'll bring those up here because I do have some last bits of things to throw out here. This was made on a $15,000 budget. Super low budget. Yeah. The original concept, one of the first things that Jane Schoenbrun came up with was that ball drop scene.
Yeah, yep.
And kind of helped spark that idea of I'm just a body in a faceless crowd.
Yeah.
And then this is supposed to be the first of a trilogy that they're calling the Screen Trilogy, with I Saw the TV Glow being the second one.
And I forget, is Camp Miasma supposed to be the third one?
No.
It's the book that they're writing that's coming out later this year, right?
I don't know. I just listened to an interview that they did, where they talked about their new film.
Okay.
And said is not part of the trilogy. That's still to come.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Didn't say if it was that book or if it's another feature film. I'm not sure.
I'm so excited for the book too. Like anything Jane does at this point, I'm in. Like But
the movie I would pair with this, because I'll have one for I Saw the TV Glow too. Just to kind of have a completely different type of double feature. Is a movie they bring up. Web? What's that?
Unfriended
Dark Web. The 200 Unfriended movies. This did remind me of those. I'm glad we covered those at one point.
At times, yeah, it totally did.
But no, they mentioned this movie twice in it. Paranormal Activity.
Oh, yeah.
And you might otherwise be like, what do these two have to do with each other besides like sort of found footage in a way for both of them?
Well, nothing happens in either one of them, so.
Nothing happens in either one of them. No, I think it's that there's an external force in Paranormal Activity that's affecting these people versus in this screen life horror movie in a way, it's the internal force that's coming after them.
Yeah. I love that.
So I don't know. I think that would be such a fun double feature. I would probably, I don't know what order I'd put them in. Probably we're all going to the World's Fair and then Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, probably.
Or if you really want to fuck up your night, then you do it the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I will say, this double feature, I watched these back to back. At like, I mean, I woke up, Maria went to work in the morning, and I was just like, well, I'm just going to pop these on before I have to go into work. That was a bad idea. It ruined my Monday. Such a bad idea.
I watched these both right after the Backrooms, and I'll talk about the Backrooms and Doobie Doing, and that's kind of an existential crisis movie too. So
That's what I've heard. So
I had a fun Sunday watching all of these.
Shit. Yeah.
Let's get to final thoughts on We're All Going to the World's Fair. And Sam, how many ride tickets are you giving We're All Going to the World's Fair?
So I really loved this movie. I like you, I feel like it took me. I'm glad we're recording this 2 days after I watched it, because it has given me time to think, to kind of read some other people's thoughts on it and be like, oh yeah, okay, I could see that read, to do all this. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this movie. Very similar to the way that I felt when I first saw the TV Glow. I gave this 4 World Fair tickets out of 5, but I think with subsequent watches that could 100% go up. I think this is a stunning debut for any filmmaker. Like, this is, I don't know, the way this captures specific feelings and emotions and vibes. Like, no one does movies like Schoenbrun. And so, yeah, 4 out of 5 for me. What about you, Casey?
Yeah, when I logged this on Letterboxd, I gave it a 3 out of 5. And I literally said in there, I'm like, I don't even know what to think of this. I have to digest it first.
Yeah.
This was the digestion. This was needed after watching this movie. So I'm glad we get to have a podcast to kind of express our thoughts and opinions and dissect this movie on that. I'm bumping it up to 4 World Fair tickets on this. I think it just
Hell yeah.
It helped discussing it and talking about it. And again, there's nothing else really like We're All Going to the World's Fair. It's such a thematic vibe of a movie where you just have to embrace that quote unquote nothing happens. And that's kind of the point, that nothing happens. Well, so much happens, and there's so much to discuss. And next time I watch this movie, I'm going to have probably a completely different reaction.
Yeah.
I might think of the characters completely different. And I think that's the point of the movie, is you never know who these people are.
Yeah.
We spend all of this time online, and do you really know these people that you interact with online? Sometimes, maybe. Who knows?
I'll tell you that I text about the same way that I behave in real life. So. If you're on our Discord, you're getting the unfiltered me.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Sorry
I mean,
about it.
4 out of 5 for me. This is a stunning debut, and I think they only get better. They only get better going forward, so.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All right. Well, that has been We're All Going to the World's Fair. Let's get to our first ad read for the show. Is it my turn? Yeah, it's mine.
Oh, I think so,
sorry.
yeah, right?
Sorry, I had to scroll down. Help! The Basement Boys are trapped in an abandoned amusement park and need your help. The best way to help the fun-loving horror fiends is by joining our Patreon. By joining our Patreon, you get bonus perks that cannot be found anywhere else, including monthly bonus podcasts, vlogs from our horror collections, and exclusive movie reviews. Each subscription to Patreon helps the Basement Boys escape Old Man Marley's amusement park, and you can join by scanning the QR code on the screen or visiting patreon.com/screensinthebasement, link in the episode description. Thanks to all our patrons for helping to support the podcast. We appreciate you. All right, Sam, let's get to the second film in our Jane Schoenbrun double feature for a movie that had a whole lot of nothing happen. We talked about We're All Going to the World's Fair for about an hour, didn't we? It's going to be a long one, folks.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. I'm sure this will be a breeze of a chat to talk about I Saw the TV Glow, which released May 17th, 2024. Again, written and directed by Jane Schoenbrun. Cast includes Justice Smith as Owen, Jack Haven as Maddie, Helena Howard as Isabel, Lindsay Jordan as Tara, the 2 stars of the Pink Opaque television show, and our boy, Daddy Durst. Fred Durst as as Frank, who is Owen's father, Daddy Durst.
Hell yeah.
Shout out
literally
to our boy
Daddy
Freddie.
Durst in this.
Literally Daddy Durst in this. Is that where did we come up with that? Is that a thing online, or
I think that's
a
just the thing
thing
we say.
Okay. So shout out to Fred Daddy Durst if you're listening.
Daddy Durst.
We love Fred Durst.
We do. We sure do.
If you've ever gone on a road trip with Sam and I, you know there's some biscuit getting burnt.
100%.
Whether our significant others want it or not, there's some going on.
You cannot hand me the aux cord or you will hear Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. All right, Sam, what is I Saw the TV Glow all about?
Well, I Saw the TV Glow is a surrealistic mindfuck of a coming-of-age horror story in which a teenager finds out that his favorite television show might be more real than the life he is living. Will Owen finally accept his call to adventure, or will Mr. Melancholy's stranglehold on his identity continue? I Saw the TV Glow, one of the most bone-rattling, core-shaking movies that I have ever watched in my entire goddamn life. It ruins my week every time I watch it, and I cannot recommend it enough.
I Saw the TV Glow.
I Saw the TV Glow.
Yeah, remind me, did you watch this in theaters when it came out, or was this a streaming release?
So I watched this. The state played it.
That's right.
They had it for 2 weekends, and we had something going on the first weekend that it was there, but I made a point. I was like, no, I'm gonna go see it the second weekend. I want to see it on the big screen. It looks really cool. Like, I've heard good things. And I'll be honest, like, I started disengaging with it about halfway through. Like, I was just like, there was just something about it that was just like very off-putting to me. And then the ending happened. And I was like, wow, that was powerful, but like I wasn't like, I was like, I feel like what I watched should have hit me harder than what it did. So I didn't rate it on Letterboxd because I was feeling real weird about it in the theater. And I left the theater, I drove home. I got home, Maria had already fallen asleep. She was in bed, and I was kind of just mulling about it in my head. And so I just sat down on the couch to hang out and process and just started bawling. Like, it hit me so hard that I just like, I've never had a movie do that. I've never had it was like a delayed release. It was like, when you take a gel cap and it's like, it'll dissolve and you'll feel the effects in whatever, 30 minutes. That was this movie where like, I got home, the gel cap dissolved, all those emotions hit my bloodstream and I was just wrecked for like the rest of the night. And so I rated it 5 stars and I was like, I don't know if there's any movie that has made me feel this way before. Pre-ordered the A24 Blu-ray and rewatched it as soon as I got it, and it had the same effect. Like I just this movie devastates me, and just I don't know. This is gonna be a hard movie to talk about if I'm being honest. But Casey, what about you? What is your journey with this movie been? Because I know you didn't love it at first.
Yeah, I didn't love it. I really liked it. So I watched it, I think January, February 2025. It was after we had did our top 10. Mm-hmm. I remember that. And I probably talked about it in Doobie Dooey. And I'm like, yeah, I really like this and I love the vibe of it. But maybe I'm just not connecting with it fully. And so watching it this time was a completely different experience where I could just absorb every little bit that Jane Schoenbrun was throwing into this movie, from the characters to the themes to what this movie's trying to say, from the overall style of the movie. Like, it's just, again, there's nothing like I Saw the TV Glow. And there's so many different ways you can watch and interpret this movie. Well, there are some obvious things that you have to interpret while watching this movie. Of course, this movie is a trans allegory, but it's also the way we look at nostalgia. It's the way we look back at our life in childhood, how we might look at our life now, how we look at our relationships again with people that might have disappeared for a while and we came back to.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's about all of those things, but not. But it's not like separate. Like none of these things are just like.
It's not like this part's about this, and then this middle part's about this, and then the end is about this. It's like, no, the whole overarching movie is about all of those things.
Yeah, and like it uses nostalgia and television to like relate to the trans themes in the narrative, and the way it weaves all of that together. Like, I suppose you could be super ignorant and be like, "Oh no, I'm not I don't think it's about trans people at all." But you're being willfully ignorant of it at that point. This movie
it's just
is
about
not...
like this guy whose real life and a television show start to collide in the end, and that's all it's about.
Yeah, like I'm just like not really. I mean, like, here's the thing. Owen finds this TV show. He loves it. He's not entirely sure like why he loves it so much. He's just drawn to it.
And he hasn't even watched it yet. He's just seen like he's seen like the commercials for it, the TV guide.
And I've had stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
We got to talk about the pink opaque for a second. Let's set up the pink opaque before we jump, because we can kind of go beat by beat. There's a little bit more to jump in that way in the movie. The pink opaque is on the Young Adult Network.
Mm-hmm.
So much like a Nickelodeon,
it's like
ABC
Nick at Night
Family,
kind of thing,
something like that. Yeah. And I think the way I would describe it is it's kind of like if Buffy was a Nickelodeon show. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a Nickelodeon show. Yes. Because it has these two characters, Isabel and Tara, who are connected after they go to summer camp together. So the pilot is about them going to summer camp together. They realize that they have power when they unite. And they have the power to basically defeat evil. And it's a Monster of the Week show, much like Buffy was a Monster of the Week show. But then there's the overarching villain of Mr. Melancholy, the Man in the Moon.
Yep. Yeah, and
but it's shot much like a Nickelodeon show, like a Are You Afraid of the Dark, The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yeah,
like there's Nickelodeon, but with kind of the vibe of like we're fighting monsters every week, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, right on down to like the fonts that they use for it and stuff like that. Like it's pretty cool.
Would have 100% watched this show.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like I had shows like that I saw like a commercial for and I thought, oh, that's really great. But either due to the fact that like I like a bedtime, which is something that Owen's like struggling with because he has a bedtime before the pink opaque starts, or just one of the lines that hits me, I think it's the only line Fred Durst speaks in the entire movie, but isn't that a show for girls?
It's his only line in the movie.
I definitely heard that as a kid. Like 100% heard that as a kid. Isn't that a band for girls? Isn't that and like and
yeah, Dad, let me watch Hannah Montana, god damn it.
Right? Yeah. Like I just wanted to play
yes, that is 100% a line I have heard in my house.
Yeah, exactly. My cat is stop it. Stay on your side. Stay on your side. No, I think that something like the pink opaque being like that, oh, I really want to watch this, I just don't have the means to, and then finding that friend who does have the means and is maybe a little asshole-ish about it, but is willing to like tell you all about it and like sit you down, and I think Jack Haven's performance in this is so good.
It's so good. They're incredible in everything. Though.
They really are, and as
like my first exposure to them was in Bill and Ted's.
Yes.
Not Excellent Adventure. What's the third one?
Face the Music.
Face the Music. Yeah,
where
they're incredible in that. They're so good in Romero's. What is it? Dolls of the Dead?
Are they in Queens of the Dead?
Queens of the Dead. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I actually have to watch that one.
You got to watch that one.
Yeah,
you'll like it a lot. They're great in that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, their depiction of Maddie is like bristly and kind of standoffish, but I'm like, I had older friends like that who kind of like treated me like an annoying younger sibling who didn't quite know the ways of things yet, but they were like, "Oh, I'll take you under my wing anyways, I suppose." Ugh. And
Yeah.
like, but also don't try to hit on me kind of thing. And
well, I mean, so I'm wearing, for our listeners, I'm wearing a Johnny Bravo shirt. This is very, very
yes.
specific that I'm wearing a Johnny Bravo shirt because when I was a kid, I did not have Cartoon Network.
Ah, yeah.
So I was much like Owen, where I would have to go to someone else's house to watch Johnny Bravo, Ed, Ed, and Eddie, Dexter's Laboratory. I would have to go to someone like my cousin's house or a friend's house to watch these shows.
My grandma's house, that's where I had to go.
Yeah. And again, that's such a... I don't know if kids have that as much today.
No.
Because everything is on an iPad or on a streaming service.
Yeah. It's really easy to just...
I suppose if your parents don't have a streaming service, sure, but you can like pull it up on YouTube still. Like everybody has access to YouTube.
Most of the time and I mean, like, pirating has just gone...
Yeah.
It's just there now, you know? Unfortunately. And sometimes fortunately, because these streamers don't actually put everything out that they...
Yeah. One of my favorite things in this opening, again, is that crossover between, I think, the two big themes of the movie is the trans story and accepting who you really are, and also nostalgia, right?
Yep.
Those are the two big things. And it's
you're
the
talking
parachute.
about the parachute? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
And again, I don't think schools do this anymore. I could be wrong. I don't have... neither of us have kids.
No.
But I don't know if that was a thing. Like, I could ask my brother who's, what, 10 years younger than me?
I don't even know if my sister did it, and she's 7 years younger than me. Like...
She didn't, or did it?
I mean, I guess I don't know for sure, but, like, I never heard about her doing that. Like, that was something that, like, when we did that, I was home, and I was like, oh my god, we did this today, because the parachute was awesome, you know?
But it's everybody in the class, in your gym class, will take a piece of this really large, probably, 30-foot long parachute.
Yeah.
You throw it up, you hold on to it, you throw it up in the air, and you grab onto the back, and then you sit on it.
Yep.
And it keeps, like, this big bubble on the inside.
Yep.
And you just all sit in there.
It's really
and maybe,
cool.
like, take turns running around as the other ones hold it down or something like that. Yeah. And it's such a nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
And in many ways, you could describe, like, your childhood as that moment where you're sitting inside of that parachute.
Yeah. Like, you're undercover. You don't have, like, yeah.
It's just you and other kids in there.
Yep. And then, like, also, the biggest nostalgia thing for me, I can still taste it, is the Fruitopia machine when he meets Maddie for the first time, and she's just sitting there reading her episode guide. Another thing that I did with shows that I didn't have access to is, like, you could find episode guides at, like, garage sales, and I just read what happened in the shows.
Yep. I mean, I did that with like Yu-Gi-Oh! And
I'm pretty
Pokemon.
sure I did that with Buffy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love just I love how, like, lived in this is. Like, it's very much of a certain era, and I suppose, like...
very much like We're All Going to the World's Fair was very much a time capsule of 05 to maybe 2012.
Yeah.
Roughly in there. This is like 1993 to 2003.
Yep. And, like, and everything with Owen and Maddie in this opening is so, like, it's so real. Like, it just the mentorship that she takes him on, the fact that she has another friend that ends up not being a friend.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The way so when we get introduced to Maddie, she's explaining to Owen the show because she's reading the guidebook and she's watched every single episode, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm the Tara of this because Tara's a badass. Also, she's hot.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, we all had that where we're like, I'm that character in the show. This is my character, and you're this person and that person. And
100%.
we all had that. 100%. But one of my favorite parts is favorite lines here in this opening part where they first meet each other is they're talking about like the school at one point gets a planetarium in it. Mm-hmm. And we get to go into it later on in the movie. Yep. And Maddie says this line, the school gets transformed into something else. It's special.
Yep.
And I'm like, I think that kind of just sums up the entire theme of the movie.
Yes. 100%. With that one,
I think there's many lines that can just sum up the entire theme in it, but I think that was one of the big ones here right away is just gets transformed into something else. It's special.
Yep. Yep. And you have Owen go over to her house to actually watch it.
Yep.
And that's the only time they hang out for a long time after that. Because after that, they don't talk. But Maddie will make him tapes of whatever episode was airing over that weekend. And she'll leave them in a schoolroom for him with little notes.
Yeah. That's my first question I have.
Okay.
Do you think, in terms of what actually happened here, because we get so many things explained to us, mm-hmm. Do you think that was the one and only time that they hung out and watched this show? Or is this Owen's memory?
Well, there were two. I feel like there were 2 times that they watched the show, right? Because there's that initial time, and then, but I see what you're saying. Then there was the time right before she left, where she tells him, I'm leaving, pack your bag, don't tell anyone, and you can go with me. And then she obviously disappears, and Owen does not go with her. But
also, we get to see later on in the movie, when she comes back into town, mm-hmm. where Owen has the dress on. He tries one of her dresses on. I feel like this is at this point his memory of that moment.
I would agree with that. I think it's
I think this is probably a couple, like maybe a 2-year stretch where he would go and do this. Mm-hmm. But for him in his mind looking back at it, oh, this was maybe just one time and then we swap tapes.
Yeah. That could be. That very well could be. Because I think, that one insert shot, and this is where I'm like, in the third act, that one insert shot of him coming out of her bathroom in the dress, and like he's self-conscious at first, but then he smiles. I'm like, if you had any doubt about this being a trans story by this point, what the fuck? You know, there's this there are just some great needle drops too in this opening.
Incredible.
We do have to talk about the soundtrack, because it opens like the parachute sequence and all that, fading into that beautiful title card where it like paints I Saw the TV Glow across the white screen. Has the Anthem for a 17-Year-Old Girl cover by Yule, which is so good. But then my favorite song on the soundtrack, and it's probably it's the most joyous sequence in the movie, is the hallway montage, where you've got Starburned and Unkissed by Carolyn Polachek. Beautiful song. Favorite song on the album. My heart is a ghost limb reaching, Starburned and Unkissed. Who writes a lyric like that? Oh my god. But I just the pink scrawls of like Maddie telling him like, this is this episode, like watch out for
and again,
blah,
this
blah,
is
blah.
a very much of that era thing as we're going through this montage of she's leaving tapes because she tapes over the reruns she tapes all the reruns that happen.
Yeah.
But they're not always in order.
They're not in order? Yeah.
And I've had that with plenty of shows. Like,
oh, hell yeah.
Like, I think for me, the one was always Boy Meets World was, I didn't watch that live, but I would just watch reruns. And I know I've seen every episode. I know I've not seen from episode 1 to the finale of that show. I know I've never done that.
Right. And see, here's the thing. That was okay sometimes for like the comedy shows, but like kids these days do not know how hard it was to watch something like Buffy when you were only getting like 3 out of every 5 episodes.
Yeah. I
like,
had that with Buffy too. Buffy was my my rerun show to watch while I was eating breakfast for the longest time, and it was like, here I can watch 2 episodes of Buffy,
right?
but then 2 more air afterwards.
And so the next day you're like, oh god,
so
what
then
happened?
The next day
those?
you're like, oh no, I missed those 2 episodes, but now I'm here in the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. But like also that was just how we consumed it then, you know? That was how you had to. Like, and they didn't hold your hand. You just had to kind of put 2 and 2 together on your own, which is fine, right? But like yeah. So that sequence is just like one of my favorites. It's so nostalgic. Like I had movies that were just, you know, taped on VHS because someone thought I'd like it and they gave it to me or something, or, you know, and then when he finally approaches Maddie on the bleachers, this is another like just great dialogue scene where it kind of lays out everything for you, where, you know, he wants to watch the Pink Opaque again. He asks her about the friend that was there the first time they watched it. And I don't know if maybe you have this in your notes, but the actress who plays her friend is also the actress who plays Mr. Melancholy. And
oh yeah.
Like and I think one of the other monsters. I can't remember which one though.
I think the ice cream monster.
Yeah, I think yeah, that sounds right. So but she's like, it's kind of the sad version of the Janice Ian story from Mean Girls, where it's like
she's like, yeah, she's a bitch.
Yeah, she's a bitch. She told everybody I tried to grab her tit. And like, she doesn't deny that she did. She's just upset that like she was trying to have an intimate moment and this girl like essentially backstabbed her for social clout, you know? And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and
you're like,
she's
oh,
like,
Maddie doesn't really
who all
have
of a sudden
anybody.
gets into, what does she say? Who all of a sudden gets into cheerleading or some sport in junior year of high school?
Right, yeah. So it's like clearly that friend is I feel like that friend is also maybe like it doesn't really dive into that because it's not that friend's story, but I'm like, there's a very real chance that that is a queer kid who just realized like, oh my god, I can't be out. I have to like make myself invisible and do something that's normal, you know? Because I knew those kids too. Like, I mean, from time to time I was one of them. So like I
have to do the thing that makes me fit in with everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. And so
and even not even a queer reading on that. I think we all just have that in general, especially in high school, where you're like, oh, I just got to do the thing that makes me fit in.
Right. And sometimes
I dressed up like a goddamn hick like my freshman year of high school because I was like, well, everybody else does, so I'm gonna wear not flannel shirts, like Western shirts and blue jeans.
That's so funny.
You know? So, like, we all have those things. I think that's, very intrinsic to the high school experience. But when, again, maybe my favorite line of this movie is right here during this. Because, Owen asks, can I come over and watch the Pink Opaque this Saturday night? And she's like, sure, but you know I like girls, right? And his response is, I think that I like TV shows.
Yeah, she like asks him. She's like, "Well, what do you like?" And he goes, "I don't know. I think I like TV shows." And she doesn't even really accept that as an answer. And what he says afterwards is really interesting. He's like, "I just don't like thinking about that kind of stuff because it feels like someone just scooped out my insides and left me hollow." I'm like, ooh. Oh, that's like, ugh, I don't know. I don't like, there's so much in this that I relate to while also like, I'm a dude, you know?
Yeah, you can't relate. Yeah.
Like, you
and
know
here's
what I
the
mean?
thing, with that line of, I think I like TV shows, like there's so many ways you can read into that.
Like, is he ace? He might be.
Yeah.
And that, you know, like,
Is he still
Or
questioning things, what he
yeah,
likes? Or is he...
he's not interested in it because he's not the right person yet. You
Yeah.
know, like, is that the thing? And that's
I mean,
something
and
that
here's where my other double feature comes in, is with this line specifically. Because
okay,
I've felt that moment many times of,
yeah,
I just like TV shows. I like movies. Like, I don't want to focus on the real
other things,
world outside of, like, I like boys, I like girls. I want to just focus on watching TV shows or movies.
right?
Um, and for me, like, the double feature I would pair with this is the Cable Guy. And I'm sure people are like, why do you want to pair a Jim Carrey 90s dark comedy
I
with
think
I Saw the TV Glow?
I think Schoenbrun would have heard that and been like, yeah,
I would hope so. I love that movie. And again, it's a character study about someone who loves television shows
yeah,
and
I
what that can do to someone's psyche, positive or negative.
yeah,
But again, it's just a character study on that. And in many ways, that's how I relate to the character of the Cable Guy, how I relate to the character of Owen. Because I was that kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. I had TV shows.
yeah.
My friends were Corey Matthews and Sean Hunter. Like, those were my friends for the longest time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I had the basic channels, so my friends were Sheldon Cooper and Charlie Sheen from Two and a Half Men, but
Well, one of them I'd
no,
like to hang out with.
no, honestly, neither one were. I just watched that because it was something to do, but no, it was tough living in a house that had like three fucking channels. I didn't have much to choose from.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like so you get
And
past this like
here's kind of our first kind of the end of the first act in many ways.
is Maddie
Is
disappears.
is Maddie leaves and she asks Owen to go with her and he's too scared to go.
Yeah. She draws like the little ghost tattoo on the back of his neck. And you see him like smiling and he's very like joyous as she's doing it. And then there's just this quick cut to him just like scrubbing it off the back of his
Yep.
neck to go home. And I've been there. I used to be one of those kids that would like doodle on my arm and like I was into metal and I was into punk and into horror and so I draw like pentagrams and stuff on me and like all this kind of stuff. Didn't fly in my very religious household, no
Yeah.
surprise there. So like I'd do that. I'd give myself like a freaking full satanic sleeve with ballpoint pen and then I'd be in the bathroom at the end of the school day like trying to scrub it all off before I went home.
Yep.
Like this is so real and like and it just scares him. Like he's like, I can't go, I can't leave this life, this is all I know. But he can't go to his parents himself, he has to go to his friend's house, and he knocks on the door and gets his friend's mom to rat him out so that he's grounded so that he cannot go with Maddie, and then Maddie disappears. And that is Owen's first refusal to the call of action. And it's heartbreaking now. Just wait until later. So yeah.
Then we kind of get a time jump where
Yep.
he's out of school. He is working
Movie theater.
at a movie theater. His boss is Connor O'Malley from
Yeah.
like every Tim Robinson thing. I think you
Yep.
should leave, Detroiters.
Oh my god, yeah. He's really uncomfortable in this movie.
I totally forgot he was in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Owen's like super weird about everything. Like, Owen is within himself. He is not changing at all. And I think so we should talk about Ian Foreman as like young Owen. He's not in this movie for very long, but he is so good. Like this kid is incredible. I hope he has a long career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Most of this movie he is played by Justice Smith. And I know we've talked about Justice Smith on this podcast a few times, not being a huge fan of his work in things like Jurassic World, which not really his fault if you what I'm yeah.
I'll throw this in here because I have made it no I have not been silent about my I don't know if dislike for him is the right word. Just like I don't know. He's never been an actor for me.
Yeah.
And it's 100% because of the movies he's been in. And it's not because of him as an actor.
Because he's really good in this.
Because he's great in this. And Jane Schoenbrun even kind of mentioned that in one of their interviews I was listening to. They're like, yeah, Justice kind of comes from the studio, big box office type world. So we kind of had to bring him into the independent world for the first time. Because that was like, he was already in the studio system for the longest time.
Right. Well, and I mean, you can't blame his performance in Jurassic World.
In Jurassic World, or I don't like Pokemon, the Detective Pikachu movie either.
I didn't mind him in that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. This is easily his best.
He gets to play an actual character with human moments and reactions, and gets to be fully embraced into that.
Yeah.
And he's incredible in this movie. I think he is wonderful in this. He's portraying Owen in so many different ways throughout this movie because he is kind of going through that life journey where he is playing him as a high schooler all the way up until he's 45 years old, roughly. Middle-aged.
That's what I love too, is they don't go overboard with like the makeup or anything. Like, they don't really age him up all that much, but what they
kind of like recede his hairline, kind of give him some wrinkles, a little bit of gray hair, but that's about it.
They deteriorate him. Like, his lips get kind of chapped, and like you said, his skin just feels kind of dry. It feels like he's
decaying,
literally just decaying as this person that he has just shoved himself into for so long. And a lot of this stuff is like in the second act is like deeply unpleasant. Like, it's not a fun second act at all. Like, the peak of the movie happens in that hallway montage, and then it just gets pretty sad for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I think that, like, in this, though, like, how do you feel about him breaking the fourth wall? Like, in the scenes where he's at the campfire, and it's almost like we're sitting across from him as the audience, and he's just recounting his story to us. How do you feel about that? Because I know that there are people that don't like that, and I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I do, too. And maybe that was the thing the first time watching it. Maybe I just wasn't expecting, like, that type of artistic flair. And here's the thing, having listened to Jane Schoenbrun do a bunch of interviews and hearing basically they're like, I'm a weirdo cinephile who loves Criterion movies and those kind of like avant-garde artistic auteur movies, but I grew up on Pete and Pete. And having that combined, because Pete, the Adventures of Pete and Pete did the same thing where they would talk to the audience as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's like combining those two, like auteur kind of, I don't know, snobby movies, if you will.
Art house cinema.
Yeah. With someone who grew up on Buffy and the Adventures in Pete and Pete and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah. And I'm like, that,
yeah.
It works.
Jane just kind of makes movies for people like you and me.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Agreed.
Because we are those people. We're like, we're the ones that grew up on those television shows, but we also love artistic movies with meanings and thoughts and have an artistic voice and flair to them. So yeah, I like the voiceover. I like the breaking of the fourth wall.
Yeah, I do too.
And it gets us inside the mind of Owen.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise he doesn't say much. Like, this isn't a very dialogue-heavy movie until it is.
Not from him, at least.
Not from him, yeah. And I just, I like the campfire stuff.
Like, the most character stuff in terms of dialogue we get from him is when he's breaking the fourth wall and when Maddie is talking about him. Mm-hmm. Like, those are the kind of, it's not him expressing, and again, that's kind of the theme of the movie. He's not expressing who he really is. He's not
Yeah.
embracing who he is. He's not accepting that part of him.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so here's when we get into this back half of the movie. He gets a new TV, and like the way he says like I have a family now and I love them while he's on the porch with his brand new flat screen TV,
Like
and he's
about to
literally
cry
touching it.
almost.
I'm like, oh, there's two ways you could read that maybe. Like maybe there's more. Either the TV is his family, and that's his new family, is that flat screen TV. Or he has a family that we never see because he is still so connected to television and trying to live vicariously through that like they are non-entities in his life. Which both
Both are
sad.
awful. I had not thought of it that way, where like the TV itself is his family.
Yeah.
I just read it as, oh no, like he's gone through the motions of life of what you do.
Yeah.
You get a job, you get a house.
I mean, and that's
you get a wife, you have kids, you have a family.
Yeah. Ugh. So the other thing is when, oh shit, where was I going?
There's two things I want to bring up here as we're in the second half that I want to get your read on.
Okay.
When he and Maddie reunite after all this time.
Yeah.
And it's right before we get Jack Haven's incredible monologue. There's so many notes I wrote down in here for that.
Yeah.
But when they first see each other again is in the grocery store.
Yes.
And they reunite under the American flag. And like that's specific. There's a very much Schoenbrun is trying to say something with that.
I have a question, because one of the things I noticed in that scene was Owen is in the produce section and it cuts to that wide shot of him, and above him like there's produce arranged, and it almost looks like the produce is spelling something, but I could not for the life of me figure it out. And I'm like, am I going too far into this? Am I
Oh, I don't know. I did not notice that.
Okay. I don't know. Just something interesting to look at on your next watch, I guess. I don't know. Like, there was something striking
I was focused on the American flag, because there's three flags like coming down, and it's immediately they meet right underneath it, and it's not just an artistic thing of those flags were already in the grocery store and we just
definitely not,
because it looked cool. It's like there's Schoenbrun is saying something about this.
Yeah, what? I don't know, but
I mean, is it that if we accept people for who they are underneath the American flag, we're better people than if we are separated away from each other?
Yeah.
But also, there's one other scene I want to bring up before we get to the Maddie's big monologue. It's when I literally wrote Daddy Durst. Daddy Durst pulls Owen out of the TV, not allowing him into the pink opaque.
So,
and again, the kind of second half of the movie kind of jumps back and forth from like present day older man Owen to like first job movie theater Owen to still high school Owen is in there as well. Yeah. So it kind of jumps all around. But this is when his mother has passed away. He's still living at home with Daddy Durst. And
you've got that Fred great Durst shot of him coming
bald,
home.
Like all white, skinhead looking dude, and will not let him into the pink opaque.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, I don't even know if Fred Durst is supposed to be an actual active, like, conscious villain in this movie, if that makes sense. Like, when he says, "Isn't that a show for girls?" It's a bad line, but the way he delivers it is not necessarily in like a... It's almost like he's just genuinely asking, like, isn't that a show for girls? Like, he's just genuinely confused why his son would want to watch it. You could read
into it, a number of ways. Is he being derogatory of, like, you're a boy, you shouldn't watch that? Or, like, oh, I've heard of that show, too. I thought it was just a girl show.
Yeah, exactly. And like neither one is okay, right? But
Yeah.
like there are varying levels to it. Um but the scene that always gets me with him is the one where Owen comes home late and Fred Durst is just sitting on the couch and the TV glow is on him, but he's not watching the TV. He's just staring straight forward. And Owen tells him like, "Sorry, I'm late. Work went blah blah blah." And Durst doesn't move. Like he's just a statue and he just stares. And I don't know what to make of that scene. It baffles me. And I don't know what it means.
Does
but
he
I'm
have
also
the opposite effect with television as Owen, where Owen uses it as an escape from real life?
maybe, yeah.
Where because this is where the mom has passed away already.
Yeah,
He can't escape from his real life? You know, that his mother's passed away, maybe his son is kind of distant from him, and he's not sure why.
Yeah.
And he can't even escape into the television anymore.
I could see that.
Is there a sad story behind Daddy Durst in this?
Yeah.
There could be, because it's never...
He's never totally villainized.
Explicit, yeah.
Yeah, like, so I don't know. I think that character, like, Durst is perfect for the role. And, like, that might sound like a slight-handed comment because, like, he has one line and he's in, like, maybe 3 scenes. But his presence in this movie is just felt. Like, and I think having someone that was known for, in this time period, being that, like, toxic masculinity bravado kind of shit, right? And having him be in this movie, like, that sends the message just by having him in that role. And I do like that. I think that's really interesting.
Also, it's what you see on screen might not be what you're getting in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you look at that persona of Fred Durst, lead singer of Limp Bizkit,
right,
as, like you said, toxic masculinity embodiment of 1999.
Right, yeah, like...
And then you look at Fred Durst in real life, who's just...
He seems cool.
A cool dude like who's an ally, and yeah.
Yeah. Like, so, I don't know,
It's very specific casting.
It is, and it's part of the reason that I think this movie works on such a high level for me. It's just like one of the examples of why it just speaks to like me personally as a movie is like I grew up on Limp Bizkit, you know, and it was one of those things where I did not listen to it around my parents because I knew that would not be okay. So it was one of those where I had friends burn me CDs and I'd bring them home and I'd be listening to them on my CD player, but really quiet.
See, mine was Limp Bizkit was always on every either wrestling video game or like DVD. Yep. And so like I didn't have a whole lot of ways to listen to music or CDs besides like hand-me-down CDs from my dad of like Guns N' Roses and Poison. Right. So like if I was doing something in my room, if I was playing in my room or whatever, I would put those DVDs or VHSs on or video games and just like let the music play over the home menu or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Limp Bizkit was always on that.
Yep.
So let's get to Maddie's big scene here where she returns home and they make their way to the planetarium inside the high school.
Well, first they go to the bar and you get the Phoebe Bridgers and the King Woman performances, which again, when this movie came out, I heard a lot of people going like, it stops the movie to have like 2 music videos essentially. And I'm like, that's very much part of the scene. If you're listening
also,
to
what
the
do they
lyrics,
what do they call that?
What do you mean?
It's like the two something.
I don't know.
There's a name for this, and I think they mentioned it here. But it's literally during these music scenes because all the, like television shows would have like all these needle drops in them.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a term for it.
Okay. I don't know what the term is, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you watch any of those teen shows from the era, or I think even now, like
like
the characters would go to a bar and you just here's the MTV song of the week, and someone's playing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like bands were always like guesting on the OC or something
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Hell,
Um,
I remember on watching shows on MTV and VH1, and they would literally put like the name of the song and the
yeah,
artist, and then the artist label while the scene is happening on screen.
yeah, 100%. And like I'm
It's a teen.
honestly a little,
It's a teen television show trope, which this
yeah.
movie is leaning into.
And I'm a little surprised that they don't do something like that where they put the band name
Maybe
across the
too
screen
meta.
or something. Yeah, maybe a little too meta. But like I love both of these songs. I think they're great. I think that the like more dreamy, ethereal um Claw Machine is like the one with Phoebe Bridgers on it. That's like it lulls you into this false sense of safety where you're like Maddie's back, Owen's got his lifeline, we're good. And then the minute Maddie starts talking about what actually happened to her, King Woman comes out on stage with Barry, and it is. I mean, that's the thing, too. These songs are legitimately, like, lyrically, they are
Attached to
everything
what's
to do
happening
with
in the
what's
movie.
happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I disregard any hypothesis that says that that scene is not worth, or, like, not a worthy space of time. I don't know. Words are hard. Um,
We're dissecting two very hard to not necessarily. See, I'm running out of words too. Hard to
yeah.
digest movies, but two movies that are very thematically rich.
Me try sound smart, but not so good with word.
Me no good with words.
But yeah, and I just God, Jack Haven's like monologue in this is so
In describing
good.
what has happened, where you realize as an audience member, like that Owen is just the character of Isabel and Maddie is Tara from the Pink Opaque. Because
Yeah,
the TV show that they remember is not
it's their
what that
real
television
life.
show was.
Yeah. And so here's the other thing. When Owen goes back, oh, this is what I was going to bring up earlier. When Owen goes back and watches it on streaming and is like it was totally different than what it was. There's a commercial for transmutators or something like that. It's like a Transformers knockoff, right? Along with what he's watching on the screen, along with the like crappy version. An interesting thing when you put subtitles on, when he's rewatching the Pink Opaque, the subtitles go credit them as fake Tara and fake Isabel. I think what's going on in this is it's another Mr. Melancholy thing where he is trying to lessen the appeal of the Pink Opaque to Owen so that Owen is having more trouble reconnecting with that part of him that he buried deep down when he was young. And I think that is an insane little detail that like on the first two watches even I don't know if I like consciously picked that up, but I'm like this is 100% like a ploy. And the way that it uses, because like I watch Are You Afraid of the Dark now, and it's like I'm not scared by this. This is
Yeah,
kind of cheesy.
we talked about it we did a whole episode on
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah.
Right. But like, is that because it's because we've just gotten so old, and I'm gonna say it's cynical, and we're just like we're not affected by that anymore. But like if we could tap into that inner child, do you think we would be? Like that is insane to me. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What if there's a true self of us buried somewhere with Luna juice coming out of our mouths, and that's why we're not scared by Are You Afraid of the Dark anymore, Casey?
I don't know. Those episodes we watched still fucked me
Yeah, I was
up.
about to say the clown one's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, and again, it's how much of the television show that they're watching is bleeding into real life and vice versa. Like how much of this is real? We never get a full answer of that. Was the show just this cheesy little Nickelodeon type show that he liked as a kid, and grew up and it is just a cheesy television show, or how much of that is now bleeding into real life and like the Mr. Melancholy character is a real thing and is infiltrating the lives of real life Owen and Maddie.
Yeah. Well, because, like, Mr. Melancholy even has a snow globe that has a little Owen in it watching a television. Like, he has Owen literally there.
And during this, basically, Maddie kind of asks Owen, like, how much of the show do you actually remember? How much do you remember of us watching it? She's like, I don't think you remember it the way that it actually happened. And that's where we get the scene where Owen steps out of her bathroom in her basement, is wearing one of her dresses. Shy at first, she smiles. He kind of embraces it at this point. And they go walking on the football field together. And see Mr. Melancholy up in the moon. And it kind of feels like in that moment that, much like the Pink Opaque, their powers are together and they could defeat Mr. Melancholy.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, they meet, they watch the Pink Opaque, and in the Pink Opaque, the lore of the world is that Isabel and Tara are on opposite sides of the county, and they never actually meet up after their first meet. But the whole thing with the Pink Opaque is they come back, like, the series is supposed to end with them coming together and finally defeating Mr. Melancholy. And that totally mirrors what Owen and Maddie do in this movie. It's just that every time they meet, Owen backs out.
The show gets canceled.
The show gets canceled again. So the show doesn't end.
The show only got 6 seasons, and it ends on a cliffhanger where
Isabel is buried alive.
Yeah. No, Tara's buried alive.
Tara?
Yeah. Because Maddie mentions where she's been, and she said, I've been buried alive.
Yeah, but I thought both of them were buried alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, Maddie has come out, though. Like,
Isabel gets buried alive after Tara does, because she goes looking for her.
Well, and that's where you start getting, like, Owen has breathing problems, he's wheezing, he's taking his inhaler. As he gets older, his breathing gets heavier, and it's like, oh, he's literally suffocating. Because he's buried. And, like, the idea of
and he's literally being held down by this unseen force, the man in the moon.
Yeah.
Like, just the name alone, Mr. Melancholy. Such a direct name.
And it's, like,
very specific name.
It's very George Méliès, like, it's...
Yeah, A Trip to the Moon.
Yeah. And that stuff is...
But also, like, melancholy, it's like, that's kind of what his life is right now.
Yeah. Like, it's very much a mood, and
he's going through the motions. It's melancholy. It's nothing.
The idea of him, like, having to bury himself, literally bury himself alive, bury this version of him to be reborn as, like, someone else, like, that is a terrifying notion. And you listen to Schoenbrun talk about their like thought process writing this, and they were like, this is very much a movie about the fears that trans people do, like, have in, like, coming out in a world that doesn't accept that, you know? Like, you do have a lot of self-repression and things that, like, even though, like, you might have your egg crack moment, that doesn't necessarily mean you just embrace your identity and have a happy ending, which is where this ending comes from, too.
Because he does have that egg. I mean, Owen does have that egg crack moment where Maddie calls him Isabel. And that's, in this moment, kind of leads into that final piece of the movie where he's like, as soon as he hears that name, he's like, no, and literally runs off.
He tackles her and runs away. Yeah. And, like,
and then after that, this scene got me, where it's him on the street, and again, written in chalk, it says, there's still time.
There is still time. It is, yeah, like, it's so weird that a hopeful message still hits with such gravity because there is still time, but he's refusing to embrace that,
Yeah.
like, and you get to this end where, like, the movie theater's closed, his father has died, he's still living in the house that he grew up in. He looks exactly the same, just a little worse for wear and wheezing. And now he's working at, like, some family, like, it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese type
Yeah,
of
Dave and Buster's,
Dave
Chuck E.
and
Cheese.
Buster's,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. And he has a massive mental breakdown at work where he, like, they're singing happy birthday, and all of a sudden he just shrieks and drops to the floor, and he's melting down. This isn't my life. Help me. He's calling for his
He,
mom.
he literally says, "I'm dying."
I'm dying. Yeah. All the while he is apologizing. Sorry. Sorry. And he
Well,
finally
and it's
gets
so
up.
crazy when he does let out that visceral scream and screaming for his mommy, and he says, "I'm dying," and he needs help. No
Everyone
one
freezes.
reacts to him. Everyone's frozen.
Yeah.
It's like time has stood still while he does this. It's like no one around him is interacting with him.
Yeah.
Even when he goes around afterwards and says, I'm sorry about that earlier, no one shows him any interaction with that.
No one cares. Like, it's just, no, that's okay. You keep that part of you hidden. Like, he goes into the bathroom before he does his, like, walkthrough and says, I'm sorry. And he literally cuts himself open with a box cutter, opens his chest, and there's TV static coming from him. And, like, and he has this moment of just joy, like this pure, exuberant look on his face. And then it just hard cuts to him back outside the bathroom, buttoned up, not showing, apologizing for who he is as the movie ends. Fuck. Like,
It's literally what I was just going to say. Yeah.
I can't. I can't with this ending. It devastates me. Like, oh, what? What? Like,
I think I'm just going to leave with this as we get to our final
Yeah.
thoughts. Of that final thing that got to me was there's still time.
There's still time.
So no matter who you are, if you're listening to this, whatever your life journey is, no matter how old you are, how young you are,
Yes.
whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I'm not just talking about the trans allegory of this. If
No.
there's a person you want to ask out, if there's a job you want to have, if there's a career you want to have, there's a place you want to move, there's a friend you want to reconnect with, there's still time.
Yep.
And I think that's a powerful message that this movie just leaves audience members on.
It is. It's
What an
so
incredible
good.
movie, though. Yeah.
It is. It's honestly, like, this is genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it came out 2 years ago, and I'm perfectly comfortable saying it. Like, I can't watch it anytime because it does this to me. Like, I'm on the verge of tears right now just talking about this fucking ending. But, like, holy shit, I love this movie so much. It's so good. It's so singular. Like, no one else could have made this movie. This is a Jane Schoenbrun movie, through and through. I can't fucking wait for Camp Miasma, Jesus Christ.
The only other note I have on the movie, well, first of all, let's get to our final thoughts. I think this movie is incredible. I don't necessarily even have final thoughts for this movie because we've dissected so much of this movie. We could watch it again and do another episode next week on both of these movies, really.
Yeah.
And dissect them in a completely different way. But yeah, I'm giving, this is a 4 out of 5 for me. I feel like third time watch, it's going to just bump up into that 5 stars. It's all-time classic. Yeah, this just, hits on every single level.
Yeah, I mean, to listen to this podcast is no stranger to the fact that I love this movie. So it's a straight 5 out of 5 for me. I can't think of a single thing I would change about this. I think it's beautiful. I think the way that it handles identity and nostalgia and the things that we pack away for other people's comfort, or just to survive in a world that doesn't really like you to step out of a comfort zone. I like no movie speaks to that the same way this one does. And
to be pushed down by Mr. Melancholy.
Yeah. This movie's like an identity crisis for an hour and 40 minutes, and it makes you feel every bit of that. But if you're on its wavelength, it's perfect. Just can't beat it. So I love it. 5 out of 5. No notes, except for the hour of notes that we just went through.
Well, last piece of trivia to leave off with for I Saw the TV Glow. Did you know there's an appearance by the one and only Pete and Pete in this movie?
Okay, so I've always heard that. I've never actually found it. What?
So they are. There's a point in the movie. It's very quick where Owen is leaving his house. This is older Owen, and he sees his neighbors. It's 2 guys.
Okay, yeah.
And that's Danny Tamborelli and Michael Morona.
Okay.
Pete and Pete from Nickelodeon's The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
So I never watched Pete and Pete, which might be why that always I was always like, oh yeah, he has neighbors that he barely talks to. But yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Woof.
Going from that heavy philosophical conversation right into our ad read.
All you.
Fangoria. Fangoria for over 40 years has been the leading source in horror for all things spooky, horrific, and macabre. The famed magazine is back with a vengeance each quarter with brand new issues of Fangoria magazine, featuring interviews, retrospectives, and insight into the world of horror. We have an exclusive offer for our listeners to save 20% off their subscription to the magazine, the latest Fango merch, and so much more. You can visit shop.fangoria.com/screamsfromthebasement or hit that QR code down below and use promo code screamsfromthebasement at checkout, again, to save 20% off that order. Thank you to Fangoria for helping support the show. Casey, we've been doing this for almost 2 hours. And yet, both of us have a fucking laundry list of doobie doing. So, what have you been doobie doing?
We do. Luckily, a lot of this is crossover, so we can both talk about it at the same time. And we made it through this insanely busy month of May for us horror fans. We were eating good. We are eating good.
Yes.
I know that AMC said that this month of May was the biggest box office that they've had since before COVID. So how cool is that?
Does not surprise me. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, with the big 4 horror hits, a Mario movie, a Star Wars movie, Mortal Kombat, Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
It's
month,
been good. I mean, it's been good for the twin, too, and we don't get AMC numbers.
What is everybody talking about, though? They're not talking about Mandalorian and Grogu.
No.
They're not talking about Devil Wears Prada 2.
No.
Hey, they're not... I'm sorry, Sam, they're not talking about Mortal Kombat 2.
They are not, but they should be.
They're talking about these 2 movies that I'll talk about here. Obsession and Backrooms.
Yeah.
Which are the first 2 movies I'll talk about here in Doobie Doing. Obsession... incredible movie. So far, this is my favorite horror movie of the year. I love this movie. It's another one I have not been able to not think about. I've just thought about this movie every single day. Much like most everyone has. Curry Barker, I had watched Milk and Cereal when that's dropped. I've seen a few of his shorts that he's done with Cooper Tomlinson.
I've started watching his sketches too. They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they're super funny. Very, very like Tim Robinson-esque. Very, very much in that same camp of humor.
Awkward cringe comedy kind of. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, Obsession, man, this movie's incredible. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I was a little maybe cynical going into it because I was like, oh, it's another YouTube horror movie that's kind of... I'm going to throw the Fleepy Brothers under the bus for a second. Where it's like, yeah, we saw the Babadook once and now we can make our own version of that. And I kept hearing that people were comparing this to, especially like performance wise, to Mia Goth in X and Pearl. And I was like, oh,
Florence Pugh in Midsummer.
Florence Pugh in Midsummer. And I'm like, oh, is he just trying to make his own like auteur horror movie?
I mean, he is, but also in a very fun popcorn way. Like this is like
he is making a Curry Barker movie, and you can definitely tell his sensibilities in this. Here's the thing that shocked me with this movie is how much of a steady hand he has on the themes that this movie is going for. Mm-hmm. As a straight white dude.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was very nervous about the subject matter of this movie going into it because, again, straight white dude on YouTube, not a great track record for how we handle women, right? Yeah. This is really good. And like here's the thing. I'm not a monkey's paw kind of person. I don't like wish gone wrong stories. They feel stale to me most of the time. Like it's just not a subgenre or a story trope that I personally
we've done
enjoy.
It forever. Literally, Simpsons did it.
Right. I just don't care. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're gonna make a wish and it's gonna go wrong. Okay, this movie made me care. This is genuinely like, even though I kind of knew where everything was like, there weren't a ton of there was one moment, but there weren't like a ton of moments where I was like completely taken off guard. But it was all done so well and so uncomfortably that like there are moments of levity in this movie, but they are dark humor. And I think like the credits rolled and my knee-jerk reaction was to look at you and be like, that was miserable. And I stand by that. It is a miserable fucking movie. But it was so also
funny when you said that to me. I was like, oh no, did you not like this movie?
I did. I liked it.
Because I was like, I loved this movie. I hope it wasn't like miserable, like, oh, that was a slog.
Oh no. I was in it the whole way. Like I was zeroed in.
Indy Navarrete is incredible. She's so good. Everything that everybody's been talking about with this movie and more. And like, she's incredible. I think the entire cast is fantastic.
Megan Lawless is great. Michael Johnston does not have like the flashy role of the two leads, but he is really good as Bear. Yeah. Like, fucking Bear.
Also, I mean, his name alone is part of what this movie is talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Because remember, like, probably when Curry Barker was writing this, was when that thing of like,
would you rather run into a bear or a man in the woods?
In the woods, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out you don't want to run into this human bear at all. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Obsession's incredible. I can't wait to rewatch this movie. We will 100% at some point do a podcast just because there's so much to talk about this with this movie. So yeah, super excited to see what Curry Barker does next. I know he is I believe in post on his next movie, which is a more straightforward like horror comedy.
Yeah.
And then I think he's moving on to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Already has offers for other stuff. So expect Curry Barker to be a big name in horror for the foreseeable future.
For sure.
Next up, then, the Backrooms. You have not gotten to this one yet, have you?
I have not, but we are getting it at the Twin second run, so okay. I'm pretty excited actually.
Yeah, it's kind of another movie that the longer I sit with it, the more I like this movie. I liked it the first time I watched it, didn't love it, but it's grown on me a lot more. And yeah, I don't know how much backstory you have with the Backrooms. I watched
the original Kane Parsons short this week.
Oh, okay.
It was really good too. I liked it. I want to watch the rest of them. So but yeah.
Yeah, I watched Kane Parsons' Backrooms found footage back in like 2022 when it came out. Okay, and I had heard of the Backrooms before that because it started on like 4chan, I believe. Mm-hmm. As like, here's this picture of this place that you've been before, but you could fall into it, and it's like this never-ending hellscape of basically mundane office with nothing in it, with terrible drab fucking fluorescent lights. as someone who works in literally the back rooms, I cannot relate to this movie anymore, or the concept of it. But yeah, I've seen a ton of video games on it, and Kane Parsons, when I first heard he was getting this movie and that A24 was putting money behind it, he was still in high school.
Yeah.
And they literally like waited for him to finish high school, then went into pre-production on it, and been working on it for the past couple of years. So yeah, it's nice to see that studios are backing these young creative minds and saying, all right, you have a vision, you have an agenda that you want to make this movie, you have a goal with it. We'll throw you $10 million to make it. Go. Yeah. They built actual sets for the back rooms, which is super cool. They could have gone like the whole studio route to the back rooms, much like they did with Slender Man in like 2018 or whatever. And it was awful, and just hired like a journeyman director to make it. Said no, they create one of the online creative minds to make this movie. It was not really what I was expecting, and I still don't love this movie, but I really like the back rooms.
Cool.
Because it is more of a character study and kind of an existential crisis movie than it is like a found footage frights movie.
So I'm probably going to like it more.
You might. I don't know. And for me, like, I like the found footage stuff. Like, I could have watched an entire found footage movie of someone in the backgrounds, much like those shorts.
Yeah.
And there is really good sequences with that. I think the cast is incredible in this. It does such a great job of setting up the vibe of like early 90s. Yeah, obviously doing incredibly well at the box office. So I still highly recommend Backrooms to anyone listening if you've not gotten out to this one yet. I do want to see more from Kane Parsons as a filmmaker, and what else, because I know he's in talks to do Backrooms 2. What else they explore with this.
Oh, yeah.
Another new release that no one is talking about, and I do feel like they should, is Passenger from director Andre Overdahl, who did The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Last Voyage of the Demeter. Just a guy that you can count on to make really effective, scary movies.
Yeah.
Like, he just knows how to make a horror film.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And here's the thing, like, ton of people are like, oh yeah, but it's not Obsession or The Backrooms or Hokum even. I'm like, does it have to be?
Does it have to be? Yeah, like, God.
Can it just be a 90-minute thrill ride? Can we not just have a fun, scary movie with likable characters?
Yeah.
And that's what this movie is. That. Like, it's 100%, you set up likable characters. It's about this couple who decide to leave their crazy city life and jump on the road in their camper van. And instead of being a haunted house movie, it's a haunted house on the road movie where their camper van becomes possessed. It's the haunted house literally on wheels.
Hell yeah.
It's so much fun. Andre Overdahl just understands how to set up scares. There's an incredible scene where our two leads it's this couple who get engaged, and they're on the road, and at one of the campsites, the husband or future husband is trying to be super romantic, and he sets up like a movie night. And so they're watching a movie on a projector screen. And the way Andre Overdahl uses the isolation of where they're at with the actual screen that they're watching a movie on, with the actual projector as a way to light the scene. Yeah, one of my favorite horror sequences of the year. So
sweet.
Do not sleep on Passenger. I know everybody's talking about the other ones. I think it's super effective, really good horror movie.
Hell yeah.
Next up, I'm not going to say too much about this. The Furious, brand new action fucking extravaganza. If you love John Wick, if you love The Raid, if you love that style of action movie, here's the next big thing in action. 100%. No hyperbole. This movie fucking rocks. It is my favorite. It's my favorite movie of the year.
I would agree with that. Honestly, I watched the screener that we got 3 times, dude. We had it for 2 weeks. I watched it 3 times, and it did not get old.
If we get it in theaters here, I am making it a point to go out to theaters to watch this movie. It's much of the same team that was behind The Raid and The Raid 2.
Yeah. Freaking Ji Mao and Joe Taslim as the two leads in this. So good.
So good. Brian Lee from Everything Everywhere All at Once is such a unique fighter, incredible fighter. There's a sequence at the end of the movie. All I'm going to say is there's a 5-way fight with different character dynamics coming in. It's
one of the craziest things you'll ever see in an action movie. No hyperbole, this is the best action movie to come out of the last, decade. And it's not even close. The Furious rules. I can't believe we got to cover it. We have a whole week of coverage of that movie coming up.
Yeah, so, Sam did 5 interviews for this.
I got to interview the director, Kenji Tanigaki. I got to interview producer Bill Kong, legendary producer
Bill Kong. Yeah.
And so, yeah, Joe Taslim, Ji Mao, Brian Lee.
You interviewed Sub-Zero himself.
I did. I'm oh God, I really wanted to just open the interview with, so you're in 2 of my absolute favorite movies this year. What's that like? What's it like knowing that you're probably going to make my top 10 list twice? Mortal Kombat 2 won't make my top 10 list, but
I mean, The Furious won't make my horror list that we do at the end of the show here.
List.
But
no, but my actual
falls into our genre space of us covering it still.
Oh yeah, it's bloody and it's brutal, and if you're a horror fan, you're gonna have plenty to enjoy with it too. So,
and then this one's gonna be so much fun to talk about. Right after we finished Obsession, actually, we made our way down to the Sioux Falls State Theater for a late night at the State with a brand new release, a 2026 release of Dead Lover.
Available to rent now on Letterboxd, and I highly recommend it.
Is it?
It's on the Letterboxd rental store. That's the only way you can watch it at home right now.
Wait, hold on. How does that work?
I mean, it has to be on a computer or a thing because they don't have a TV app.
You can screencast it to your TV if you want.
I'm guessing. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking
weird.
I have my scratch and sniff card from this screening still, and so I'm gonna do it. Because I want Maria to watch. I mean,
wait, scratch and sniff card?
Yeah, the scratch and sniff card for the Stink-O-Vision. I mean, I fucking loved this movie. I genuinely, this was a Sam movie through and through. I loved it. I loved the gender bent performances. I loved the scratch and sniff. I loved the, absolute gallows humor that happens through it. I loved how horny this movie was. I loved that the freaking reanimated corpse was just a long-ass finger that, this movie is insane. You just have to watch it. And the best way to watch it is 2 weeks ago at the State Theater, but the next best way to watch it is any other way. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a blast with this movie. I had no idea what to expect with it. Stars kind of aligned in us. This will be in my top 5
at the end of the year.
Yes, stars kind of aligned for us to play this at the State Theater. Lucked into them still having scratch and sniff cards to play during the movie. I think the audience had a blast doing that. Even without that gimmick, though, I think the movie is so much fun, and it's so good.
Yeah. The movie itself is just awesome. 4
actors in a black box theater playing every single character, and there's so many different characters in it. Just a weird, off-kilter sense of humor, wicked sense of humor in this. Yeah, this movie rules.
It's so good.
I hope more people check out Dead Lover. It's destined to be a cult classic.
Yep.
Rewatch John Carpenter's The Thing.
Fuck yeah.
Do I need to say anything else about The Thing?
We did a whole episode on it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's incredible. We showed
it's really good.
We showed Dakota's fiance John.
Oh, he'd never seen
The Thing
it?
For the first time. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very jealous that you got to see him see it for the first time because yeah, that movie's a trip.
Yeah. The reaction with the defibrillator scene was great. Followed that up, we watched The Void right afterwards. Still kind of in a what's a kind of isolation mood with some creatures and special effects. I hadn't watched this in a very long time. I don't think I had watched The Void since like 2018, 2019. Have you ever seen The Void?
I never have actually, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I think I've watched like part of it on Shudder TV, because didn't it used to be on Shudder?
Yeah. Because this is from director Steven Kostanski, who would go on to make Psycho Gorman.
That's right, yeah.
Frankie Frico, the Deathstalker remake. This is definitely not in the tone of those. It's a pretty straightforward movie. And it's almost like John Carpenter's The Thing meets Lucio Fulci's The Beyond and what it's going for.
Okay. I love that.
I think it just needs to... you definitely feel that low budget in the movie, and maybe just needed to tighten up the script side of things and really hone in on what the movie's going for. Because it definitely has like a cosmic scope to it, like The Beyond with the isolation of The Thing. Just maybe needed to focus in on that a little bit more, make it a little tighter. I think it's a good movie. Yeah, it's just so curious that the guy that would go on to make Psycho Gorman and Frankie Frico made like a low budget, pretty serious horror film before that. And like the interesting thing is like came out in 2016, and like horror was in such a weird space, especially indie horror, where it was in that weird space of like straight to DVD was still a thing. Streaming really straight to streaming wasn't like the number one thing to do yet. It was just in that weird space of trying to figure out where to put these movies. And I feel like that's where The Void kind of fell in. And then the last two won't say much about these because we will have interviews coming out soon on the Screens from the Basement podcast. First up is Hacked, a double entendre of rage-fueled karma, starring Chandler Riggs. We interviewed writer, director, and star of the movie, Shane Brady, talking about this movie based on his own real life.
He got scammed out of $20,000.
Yeah, real life scam that happened to him, and this is basically what he would want to do if he ever caught that scammer in real life.
Yeah, it's a wild movie.
It's a wild movie. It's a
very
revenge
cathartic
movie like
if you've
you've
ever
never
been
seen
screwed
before.
over.
Yeah, it's Chandler Riggs, you know him, Carl from The Walking Dead, as a fart sniffing incel who steals this family's money, and then the family goes and brings in Santa Claus to help torture him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You heard that right.
It's very crazy. I really dug this one. Definitely be on the lookout for that and check out our interview because Shane was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah. And then we also have another interview coming out in July for this one. We haven't even announced it yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the announcement.
Southern Scares, which is a brand new horror film that will be out by the time that interview comes out. So you'll have time to watch the movie before the interview as well. Mm-hmm. And this movie is, again, much like the trend of this episode in many ways with the Backrooms and I Saw the TV Glow, set in the 90s at a video store where a young girl who was the host of the Southern Scares kind of local access urban legend show goes missing, and her sister goes looking for her with her cameraman.
Yeah, and she's like,
so if you love like analog lo-fi horror films, if you love Dee Wallace, because Dee Wallace is in this movie, you're gonna have a good time with Southern Scares. And we spoke to writer-director Paul Rowe about this, and Paul was such a great interview and chat on this.
Oh, he's awesome! Yeah. I'm pumped for people to watch this one too, because it's a scrappy independent movie, but like the vibes of it, like especially in the like Southern Scares footage that you're watching along with your main character. So good. Like I loved the vibes of this movie. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's it for me.
Well, I just have like two more then.
Yeah. Sam, I'm going to ask you then. What have you been doing?
I'll start off with the shit one. I don't have Paramount Plus, but I have someone else's Paramount Plus login, and Scream 7 went on Paramount Plus.
Fuck Paramount Plus.
And so I was like, well, Paramount's not getting any of my money, so I guess I could hate watch Scream 7. And you know what? I didn't go into it saying I'm gonna hate watch this. I did go into it with an open mind. I'm like, maybe it'll be a Scream 3 where I'm like, oh, I heard this one's the bad one, and then I ended up really liking it. It's not a Scream 3. Scream 7 is bad. It's worse than what you've heard. And I don't understand anybody that's like going, it's not that bad. It's that bad. It is legit one of the worst studio horror movies I've ever seen. There's zero passion to it. Everybody keeps talking about the goddamn beer tap kill. Casey, anybody who has seen the 1981 My Bloody Valentine has already seen that kill and seen it done better, because the practical effect that they use in that beer tap kill is fucking naff, and it's terrible, and I'm like, people like this? Like,
Sam, you're the first person that I've ever heard bring that up, so I don't think people are talking about it that much.
oh my god, I've heard it in so many reviews. I've seen it in so many reviews, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not a good movie in any sense. And that's even taking out all of the bullshit with Melissa Barrera. It's just like so passionless. I can't believe Kevin Williamson is the writer of it. It has none of his wit or charm. It's got the worst opening sequence. It's got the worst killer reveals. Like, I was floored by how, like, oh my god, I can't wait for this movie to get over I was. Like, I was at least expecting to be like, oh yeah, this is fun, you know? Like,
so of all these movies that will make our top 10 list at the end of the year, Scream 7 will not be one of them.
No, Scream 7 will not. It is... I'll be honest, I would watch Iron Lung or Five Nights at Freddy's 2 over Scream 7 again. Not kidding. Not kidding. It's just that bad. I did not care for it at all. Like, oof. It just, yeah. Matthew Lillard is innocent, but fuck that. Fuck that movie. And then the one that I loved, this one will be on my top 10 list. I watched Hokum, and I went to the theater at like 8 a.m. by myself and watched it in an empty theater where no one was there, and it scared the living shit out of me. Holy cow. I'm glad I chose to go in the morning instead of at night, when I would have had to walk out the back alley into a dark, or walk out the back into a dark alley after locking up, because holy shit. There was one scene that genuinely, like, I was like, oh, I think I might have almost peed myself there. Like, 3 or 4 different times in my private screening, I yelled, holy shit, because it just got me that bad. Like, Hokum fucking rules. Adam Scott is so good in it. And, like, it does not play out the way I expected. I didn't watch a trailer for this. I went into it very blind. Did not play out the way.
I knew it was the guy who made Oddity.
Yeah.
Damian McCarthy.
Yep.
Adam Scott, and that the
There was a
goat
hotel.
man. The not the goat man, the donkey, the jackass, the donkey.
Yeah, Mr. Jackass or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Like, I just, the emotional journey that he went on was so good. Like, I was very moved by the end. Like, I was actually I teared up a little bit. There's a lot of disarming humor in it, even when it's going really dark. Like, Adam Scott is a fucking dickhead in it too. And he's still kind of a dickhead at the end of the movie. But, like, he's grown and changed.
Super
likable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I loved Hokum. I do have a whole review on the Patreon for it. If you're on Patreon, check it out. But yeah, I dug Hokum. It'll definitely be one that I have a feeling both of us will have it on our top 10 list at the end of the year, given how much you liked it, given how much I liked it. Like,
it was my favorite horror movie of the year until 2 weeks later.
Yeah. May's been good. May's been good. So, yeah. That's what I've been doing. All right.
That's what we've been doing together here. 2.5 hours. of talking shop, talking movies. What a great episode. I had so much fun talking both of these double features and talking about the big month of May. June will probably slow down for us. I think Scary Movie 6 is about the only thing that I have my eye on for June releases, so
yeah, like I said, we're getting Backroom's second run, so that's a June movie for me, but
yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's Scary Movie 6.
And I move next week, so I don't know how many movies I'll have watched by the next time we meet up again, which will be another long episode anyway with some guests. But
yeah,
I'll
for sure.
have a whole new. If you're watching this on YouTube, say goodbye to this setting right here because it's the last time you'll ever see it.
Oh damn.
Anyway, Sam, if people are listening though and they wanna keep up with what we're doing, where can they find us?
Well, you can subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube if you like that video component. If you do subscribe, give us a 5-star review, leave us a comment, do something. Just let us know you subscribed. Let us know you're listening. We love to hear your thoughts on our thoughts. That's a good slogan. I'm proud of that one. Another pat on the back for Sam. That's 2 this episode. That's what happens when you make me talk for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And if you want even more shenanigans from the Basement Boys, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok, where we'll post about every episode, every event that we have, including a VHS swap coming up at Remedy Brewing on a date and at a time.
I believe July 19th. Yes,
that's
July 19th.
What I was gonna go for, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, as we are, you can check out our VHS swap meet at Remedy Brewing Company on July 19th from 12 to 4. If you want to be a vendor, just let us know. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Free to attend and free to vend. VHS swap meet. So buy, sell, trade your VHS tapes, as well as other physical media, DVDs, Blu-rays. If you got some laser discs, beta tapes, bring them along with anything movie related. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's just swap some physical media. All right, Casey, if everybody wants to support the show monetarily, how can they do that?
They can help do so, and we would appreciate it so much because, believe it or not, this is not free to do. But also, we have so many cool things that, like everything, the money makes the world go round.
Right?
And if you want to help us out and want to get some more content, Patreon is the best way to do so. You get that monthly bonus podcast, get early previews of what we have coming out each month, so you can kind of prep for that. We have exclusive written reviews there and our exclusive video vlog. So in the month of June, I'll probably be doing a lot of putting my new horror room back together. As part of the vlog. So if you want to watch that journey, check us out on Patreon, link in the episode description. Or if you want some of our super cool merch, you can check out our TeePublic store. Check out our TeePublic store, exclusive designs on there. You can get it on t-shirts, hoodies, basketball shorts, hats, so much more. Kind of anything you want to get printed on, you can order it there. And then, if you see us in person at any of the events that we'll be at Vermilion Pride in the month of June. If you're in Vermilion, South Dakota area. Or
June
if you're at
at 19 Brewing,
June 20th?
June 20th, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to buy we'll have some merch, we'll have some cool stuff there as well. We'll have it at the VHS swap meet. So if you want any of our merch that we have on hand, just find us at any of these locations.
Yeah. All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
We've done all the plugging. All right. Well, Sam, now more than ever, why don't you give us that sign off?
Yeah. We say this every month, but it goes double this month because it's Pride. Reminder that we support trans youth. They deserve the right to be their own people. Fuck ICE. Get them out of our cities. Get them out of our airports. Get them the fuck out of here. Horror has always been political and always will be. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. And sweet screams.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.